Mr. Krishnan. As a matter of fact, it was a very nice, short and pithy presentation, laying the ground for the further discussion during this 1 hour panel discussion. Well, you have said it, there's a lot of fragmentation in the government. As a matter of fact, you mentioned my urging the last Apex NEGP to consider government as a managed service, which arose essentially out of some kind of a frustration when you look around the government as a jungle of IT applications, IT resources, everybody keen to deploy e-governance in the business of one's department, but very little commonality, right from database to application platforms and so many other things. And the Department of IT or Science and Technology finds this so difficult an exercise to bring them on one common platform, one common shared database, that I thought it's best to let the government be managed by somebody like Prakash or Dhruv, and we be free just to do our work. But then it is appealing in a sense that that it is well known fact that more than 70% of the IT dollars are spent on maintaining the legacies. We are spending more money on maintaining the legacy rather than spending money on our mission critical jobs or the operational the excellence to be achieved in the areas of operations. And particularly when it comes to the government, the most important thing is to ensure delivery to the last person in the queue. As a matter of fact, one of the issues when I talk about this last person in the queue is the question of bandwidth and connectivity, which we assume or presume as a part of the package and given part of the package. But when it comes to governance, e-governance in India, I think one would have to factor it as an important part of the offering when cloud is to be considered. The bandwidth, connectivity footprint to the last of the person in the queue should be put and how in the offering of a cloud, where like in Gujarat, there were no footprints and we created an infrastructure on VSAT and pumped the bandwidth on the VSAT infrastructure of our own to ensure that we reach the last point in the state. So anyway, coming back from there, the fact is, as you said yourself, that there is a kind of silosis, a disease that the government has, where everything is in silos. There is this network silo, there is storage silo, there is server silo, there is management silo, there is solution providing silo. And we, as a matter of fact, are managing it all differently. So you have an O&M operator for network, an O&M operator for data center. You have a third-party auditor for network. You also have a third-party auditor for data center. Then you have an emission solution specialist, and you have facility management services. And in a place like Gujarat, where we have many data centers, because we have a mesh architecture of the network which reaches us now to 14,000 villages. In fact, the eGram Vishwagram is getting connected to GS1, which perhaps renders it to be the largest intranet, IP-based internet in this part of the world. So with so many vendors, first requirement is perhaps the convergence, which we talked about, I think, a couple of NEGP meetings back, where the question of convergence across network, storage, servers and all would be required to be built in right at the beginning. And that, so this, what we have talked, the shared platform, is actually a logical evolution of the state where we have reached, which is to say that it is not to find anything wrong with what the government of India has done so far. I think it's a huge effort that government of India has made to create this kind of infrastructure across the country, and a country as big as India is, with what more than 1.2 billion people, or is it more as per the latest census? 1.21 billion people. This kind of infrastructure would prove us in good stead. So the issue, as Mr. Krishna has pointed out, is now how to evolve from there. And to my mind, it's a mammoth exercise, considering the government environment. He has posed some of the issues, and I would certainly like to hear our members on this panel, but more so from somebody like Ajay, and the mechanics of now moving the way forward, the mechanics of way forward from here. We in Gujarat, I have told Neetaben and Guru Raj Raoji that I want to hive off, if Shankar permits me, I would hive off the SDC and the network to a government entity, which would be a corporate entity. And then I would buy from them the service. Now that requires a model to be developed, and they are at it. Neetaben is developing with other people in the Gujarat Informatics Limited, a model whereby we can pass on the whole thing to GIL. GIL sells to us as well as to anybody else whom it wants. It can sell to any other state in India, outside, wherever, whatever. And we have to determine a fair price to be given to them per user. Now there are lots of issues in determining the cost of the services, in developing the SLA for these services, and in ensuring and monitoring the SLA, where again there are lots of challenges. So I think I'll stop here and then request Ajay to now respond to some of these issues and raise the issues that he has in mind. And as the discussion goes on, I would expect everybody to intervene as and when they find it exciting. Thank you.